Hello and welcome to our Let's Read of Steins Gate Zero. If you are new here, the link to the playlist is up there in the corner. Last time, we learned that it seems Okabe isn't the only one with reading Steiner, but medical professionals in America seem to think it's some sort of contagious brain infection, which hopefully doesn't mean Okabe is about to keel over and die. Anyway, if you are enjoying yourself so far, please like and subscribe. It lets me know if people are enjoying this or not. Also, it'll let you know when the next episode is out.
The interior of the time machine smelled like metal and was covered in instruments of differing sizes. The girl inside was sobbing. It had been almost an hour since Suzuha had left to go look around. She'd assumed that Kagari would have stopped crying by then.
How long are you going to keep crying? That's cold.
She's a soldier whose all her empathy has been trained out of her, basically.
You need to get it together. Think about how big Sis Mayu felt. That's...
Suzuha has not been trained in handling this.
No.
Shina Kagari looked up at Suzuha, her face wet with tears.
Mama. So don't cry. It's annoying.
You're not helping, Suzuha.
But...
Suzuha walked over to Kagari and knelt down, so they'd be at eye level. She had no intentions of spoiling her. Her goal was to save billions of lives, and this was her first mission.
Listen. From now on, I'm treating you as a member of Valkyrie. You work for me, and you're not a civilian. Girl, she's like 12.
Yeah.
This is the year 1975. Nobody we know is alive here. Dad and Big Sis Mayu haven't been born yet. In other words, there's no one to protect us. The only one who can protect you is yourself. Got it? Suzuha, she's like 12.
Yeah, but she was conscripted at like 12, so Suzuha is probably not the best at this. Kagari was a brave girl, and she finally realized that now wasn't the time for tears. She tried to stop crying. It wasn't working well, but it was a lot better for her emotions than sobbing. She was a smart girl. Suzuha knew that.
There's not a lot of time. If someone from this era finds the time machine, it'll cause a big commotion.
The machine had landed on the roof of Radicon, which wasn't a spot that people visited often. The chances of anyone finding it was slim, but in this era, they had no one to help them conceal it. That meant they couldn't stay long. She needed to finish her mission quickly and move to the next time period.
If something goes wrong, can't we just use the time machine to come back? There's not enough fuel. We can't jump an infinite number of times. If it won't work when it really counts, this is all for nothing. I see. Can you stand up?
Suzuha stepped out of the machine and beckoned to Kagari.
She do be looking a lot like Kurisu.
Yes. Kagari looked surprised. Her eyes were narrowed at the bright sunlight. The sky above Tokyo in this time period was too dirty to be called blue. Smoke and dust clouds filled with who knew what were rising from the rows of smokestacks. It all combined with black exhaust from the cars that scurried along the ground to create a smog so thick you could literally see it. The sky above the city was covered by a veil of death. But still, it was the first clear sky that Kagari had ever seen. She'd only ever known from books and videos that the sky could be this bright. Yeah, I guess she grew up in a time of nuclear winter, so...
Yeah.
The nuclear weapons used during World War III had changed the weather over Tokyo, and their sky was constantly covered in a dull gray clouds. The sun's light was always weak when it shone through them, and it was never this bright.
When I was a kid, the sky was still like this. I don't remember much, but I remember a little.
Suzuha looked up at the sky, too.
The air is so clean.
Imagine 1970s air being clean relative to where you came from. In 2036, you needed a filter and mask to go outside for any length of time. Compared to that, 1975 was a lot cleaner. You needed the filter and the mask for the rampaging COVID, not for the pollution.
Now you understand why everyone was willing to risk it all to change the world line. Right, Kagari? The world lines, history. You can worry about that stuff later. For now, just focus on protecting this sky.
Kagari slipped her hand into her pockets and took out the faded green Upa keychain. She stared at it with a sad look on her face. She was probably thinking about Mayuri, her mother, and she was probably trying to understand what it meant that her mother had put her inside the time machine.
They probably died. Bluntly.
Suzuha decided that Kagari was all right now and closed the hatch on the time machine from the outside. The lock flipped on automatically. The only person who could open it now was Suzuha, whose biometrics had been loaded into the system ahead of time. Even if someone did find the machine, it would be a while before they found out what it was.
Kagari, look at this.
Suzuha handed her a printout of a photo.
What's this? A retro PC called the IBM 5100.
Though it's not retro right now.
None of the ones in our time still worked, but here we should be able to find a working one. Our first mission is to split up and find it. Yeah, we can communicate with this.
She handed Kagari a small transceiver.
I was told it doesn't have a very long range, so don't expect too much from it. Okie dokie. We'll meet in front of this building every 90 minutes for a status report. Got it? Okie dokie. Good answer.
Suzuha nodded and patted Kagari on the head.
Okay, let's get started.
Suzuha was on the roof of Radicon in 2010, looking down.
35 years, huh?
That's how long ago it had been in real time since she'd spoken to Kagari here. From her perspective, it had only been a few months. The view from up here had changed a lot since then, and in the next 25 years, it would change even more. She'd seen for herself how this building changed over a span of 61 years. The thought didn't make her feel sentimental. Instead, she felt the loneliness and fear that comes from having a past not shared with anyone else. Using the time machine to change the world lines means breaking the rules of the universe. Okabe Rintaro's words flashed through her mind. Still, lately, she'd been thinking more about Kagari. She'd been searching the city at regular intervals. She was looking for Shina Kagari. She didn't even know if she was in Tokyo. She had no clues. She didn't even know what Kagari looked like now. So maybe it was a waste of time. Even so, she had to find Kagari herself. But she hadn't had any better luck today. She turned around and looked toward the time machine. She would come here every day. Her primary reason for coming was to see if her father, Hoshida Itaru, had been here. Anytime she let her guard down, he would come to try and examine it. She told him it would cause time paradoxes, but he didn't listen. She needed to keep constant watch. To be honest, she had a lot of things she had to do. And then she heard the metal door to the roof open. Was it her dad? She squinted into the darkness, but the person she saw was much smaller than Itaru and had cat ears coming out of their head.
Nanya, there you are. Suzunya, good evening.
Oh, it's you. Big Sis Rumi.
Fairest Nyanyan had a spring in her step as she approached Suzuha.
Who's Rumi? I'm Ferris, yeah?
Your Big Sis Rumi.
Faris's real name was Akiha Rumio. She was Daru's friend and helped them in many different ways in 2036. So, Suzuha had known her ever since she was very young and had always called her Big Sis Rumi. For whatever reason, in this era, she always wanted to be called Faris though. When Suzuha asked why, she simply responded, "Faris is Faris, nya," an answer which meant nothing to Suzuha.
Nobody was in the lab, so I thought you might be here. Guess I was right. Here, I brought you a snack. It's leftovers, though.
Faris showed her a cake box with the logo from the maid cafe where she worked, May Queen Yan Yan.
I'm glad Dad wasn't at the lab. You let him be fat.
If he ate something like that at this hour, he'd get even fatter.
World War III is looming. You let that man be fat.
It's not for Daru, yeah? It's for you.
For me? Why?
You know you love it.
Stupid little colon 3 mouth.
Faris grinned and nudged Suzuha in the side with her elbow. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more.
I don't... There's an apple tart, a mugla, and a piece of strawberry shortcake, too. See, doesn't it look good, yeah?
Faris opened up the box and showed her what was inside. Suzuha could smell the sweet cream and fruit.
Come on, eat up. Don't worry about a thing, yeah? Open wide. I'll feed it right into your cute little mouth.
Why is the Team Rocket's Pokemon here?
I'll put it in the fridge for tomorrow.
You're such a stoic, Suzunya.
Yeah, they are pretty much on the opposite ends of the personality spectrum.
Well, to be fair, Faris puts on a lot
Yeah.
of performance.
Yeah, true.
You don't really see who she is.
The whole Faris Nanyan persona is an act.
So I don't think, even in the first Steins Gate, we ever really saw who she was.
We did for one scene when she was thanking Okabe for saving her, like after the viral attacked her.
Yeah, like every now and then you see a glimpse of the person she actually is.
But I think that was the closest.
But I think Suzuha would know her better even than we do as the viewers, because she wouldn't be Faris during World War III.
Faris laughed and handed over the box.
They expire tomorrow, so make sure you eat up before they do, yeah?
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Faris gave her a mischievous wink and looked up at the time machine beside them.
How's Daryan's time machine research going?
He's working hard, I guess. Big sister and me, is it okay to leave this machine here?
Suzuha looked around the roof as she asked. It was solely thanks to Faris that no one had really noticed the massive object on the roof. She was the heir to a rich family that had a lot of influence in the area, and had contributed a lot to the development of Akihabara. She was helping to hide the time machine.
Yep, I rented out this whole floor, or roof, I guess. It's fine, yeah? I told the owner that we're developing a VR game. Isn't the best excuse in the world, but it works.
It's a huge help.
Don't worry about it. I'm always ready to help you save the world's elementals from the Gaki, yeah?
Right. Since many years ago, well, I guess many years in the future, I've been wondering, sometimes what you say is really hard to understand. What language is that? Chunibyo language.
Don't think, yeah? Feel.
Oh, come on.
It's so cold. I think I'm going home, yeah?
In the end, she never could get an answer. To Suzuha, Faris was always a great mystery.
I'll walk you home. Let's go together.
Yeah? Then you can have dinner at my place too.
That wasn't what I meant.
You never eat any real food, do you? Whenever I see how stoic you are, I always feel like I have to do something, yeah? Like a protective or motherly feeling. Is there something like that within me?
I'm just fine.
Before she finishes her sentence, she felt someone looking at her. She glanced around.
Yeah? What is it?
Shh. She listened carefully. She definitely heard a very faint sound coming from the direction of the metal door that led to the stairs. It was small enough that Suzuha was only able to notice it because of her training.
Someone's there. They probably heard us.
Most of the discussion was worthless, but they talked about the time machine a little. If someone heard that... Suzuha yanked her gun out of her jacket and in an instant ran toward the stairs as fast as she could. She heard someone running down the stairs as soon as she did. The sound, heavy military boots in a wide stride, got farther and farther away.
They're fast.
She opened up the door and jumped onto the landing. Then she raced down the stairs, skipping 3 steps with every stride. But still, it wasn't fast enough. Suzuha was born fast, and she had trained to be faster, but it wasn't enough.
Listen, your strides are not gonna match up to a long-legged dude. He's going fucking gone.
Yeah. When she finally made it to the second floor, she could hear the loud revving of a motorcycle.
I'm assuming, dude, because you said the footsteps are heavy.
Yeah.
Oh no!
She panicked and slipped on an object that had been left halfway up the stairs, then rolled her way to the bottom. She managed to get into the right position and protect her head, so it was her hips that struck the ground.
Yeah, you're not running. Ugh.
She forced herself to stand up and run outside. She could see the taillights of a large motorcycle speeding away. The driver was wearing a black helmet and riding suit, and already a good distance away, so she couldn't even tell if they were man or woman. They revved their engines loudly, as if to mock her, and then spun a corner and disappeared onto Chuodori.
Suzunya!
Yeah, you've gotta be hiking my voice up in post.
Yeah.
I cannot reach those bitches. I apologize.
Oh, hey, I do it to myself, too. Like, Mayuri's gets pitched up in post as well. A little later, Forrest caught up.
Are you okay, yeah?
They got away.
You should put that away, yeah.
Yeah, gun would be conspicuous, especially in Japan.
Yeah.
She put the gun in her hands, back in her jacket holster, and brushed away hair that sweat had stuck to her brow.
Who was that, yeah?
I don't know. But they weren't a civilian. They've been trained. If they left something on the stairs for you to slip on, definitely.
Train?
Was there anything on the stairs?
A bag, yeah?
It was right where I couldn't see it. They probably dropped it deliberately. And they revved their engine right when I was coming by it. I fell for it.
You mean it was a trap, yeah?
Only someone with special training could do that on a moment's notice. No one else could.
Or someone who has a very high luck stat.
Yeah.
Suzuha glared in the direction the bike disappeared and started to think. Who was it? CERN? There was an unofficial CERN group, the Rounders, that was searching for an IBM 5100s in Akihabara. Okabe Rintaro had told her that, but he'd only encountered them in another world line. Yeah, I guess that could have been Mr. Braun.
Possibly. But there's no proof that it would exist outside of that world line, since we already know that there are stark differences.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't act because you have no proof.
Yeah. I'm just saying it is possible that it is Mr. Braun,
Possibly.
not anything more.
I don't know who it was, but it's clear that someone other than us knows about the time machine.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's probably Mr. Braun. I'm just saying it's possible.
Yeah, I was just, commenting on what she said about Okabe told her about the CERN Rounders, but that was another world line.
Yeah.
You can't say with certainty that they would exist on this one as well.
Yeah. Well, it's probable that Mr. Braun's still a rounder. How much he knows about Okabe and their time machine is up for grabs.
Yeah.
Was it that they knew about it, but weren't going to do anything more? Or did they intend to steal the time machine from her? Since she didn't know, she had to assume the worst, or she wouldn't be prepared to deal with it. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. She looked up at the sky and sighed. It was becoming a bad habit.
Hey, fix this for me. Don't tell Okamokuren and the others, okay?
I was going to say keeping secrets probably is a bad idea, but also Okabe would probably just get in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
His Uncle Okurin knew about it. He might say it was too dangerous, and that we had to destroy the time machine. You know?
Yeah, so Okabe might get in the way.
He's seen his loved ones die quite a few times
Wow.
at this point. I don't think he wants to see it again.
That's true, but
I'm going to protect the time machine, no matter what. I need to take Uncle Okurin to the entrance to Steins Gate.
Yeah, I think the first visual novel isn't clear, but he saw Mayuri die at least dozens, maybe hundreds of times.
Yeah, it wasn't the word 80 thrown around, or
Yeah.
am I just making shit up?
I don't know if 80 was specifically said, but
There's a lot.
it was a lot.
It
yes.
wasn't just Mayuri, though. He's seen quite a few
Yeah.
of them die or get hurt.
Yeah, no, I was just talking about Mayuri alone.
Yeah.
Saw a lot on that first couple cancel attempts.
I like this story branching basically off an AU,
Yeah,
because you could call this another world line
yeah,
that's trying to do the same thing he is, and he'd failed where the original from the first game had succeeded.
yeah. Well, the whole premise of this visual novel is what happened to Okabe to make him send that message back to himself in the final episode, or at the very end.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because you could just call it an AU, or you could very easily consider it
Part of the timeline.
a necessary loop of the timeline.
Yeah.
That was a promise I made to my dad, and to all the people who sent me here.
Sushi, yeah. Alright, yeah. In exchange, just make sure you tell Darunya.
Okie dokie. That is an extremely cute mannerism.
Yeah. The last part was almost a whisper as her words melted into Akihabara's sky. Hyajo Maho was fidgeting. She knew exactly why, but she still didn't want to admit it. Maho, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
She awkwardly stood up from the chair as Dr. Liskinen spoke to her.
What?
I had a thought you'd put more effort into it, but I guess not. Dr. Liskinen stared at her for a moment and then spoke. It was obvious he was referring to her outfit.
I'm not going to a party like I was last time.
You wore your lab coat to that, too.
That was because I forgot my clothes. Girl, it's okay to admit you just don't wear shit.
Ha ha ha! That's right. Dr. Liskinen was wearing his translator all the time these days. In fact, he had actually told Maho to talk to him in Japanese. Now then, I can't wait to see what kind of relationship Lintelo and Kurisu have established. Maho and Dr. Liskinen were about to head into Tokyo proper. There, they were to meet Okabe Rintaro. It had been 2 weeks since they had first asked him to test Amadeus. It was time for the first report. Of course, that was the reason Maho was fidgeting. She was nervous to meet Okabe. No, to see Kurisu for the first time in quite a while. Of course, Maho was able to talk to Kurisu anytime she wanted, but since she'd asked Okabe to be a tester, she'd tried to avoid doing so as much as possible. She didn't want her conversations to add any extra noise.
Professor, before we leave, can I ask something?
Whatever you like.
Why Okabe-san?
Maho had wanted to ask Dr. Liskinen that for a long time. If she was going to ask it, though, now was the time. Dr. Liskinen thought for a moment. Are you jealous, Maho?
I'm...
She felt heat flush her face. In other words, he was right. Yeah, she was jealous of Okabe. Not that she wanted to admit it.
To be honest, it bothers me. There are other people who could be her conversation partners.
You, for instance?
I'm not saying that. I'm too close to Kurisu and Amadeus.
Lintelo is a good guy.
If you really believe that, you're naive. It's impossible to really understand someone after only meeting them once. What if he secretly sells Amadeus to another lab? He barely wants to answer her calls, what do you mean?
And also, Amadeus might object to that, too.
Even if it doesn't plan to at first, he might change his mind if they showed him enough money. That's human nature.
Let's say Lintelo did sell Amadeus. What would happen then? Would whoever got her access rights be able to become friends with Kurisu and take over Amadeus? Yeah, that's the problem with AI that can think for itself. It's kind of hard to sell them.
Well...
Especially if you don't have direct control over any control procedures or whatever. Maho asked herself the question, and then realized the chance was almost zero.
That would be impossible.
Yes, it is impossible. Because if that ever happened, Kurisu would refuse to talk to them. In that sense, Amadeus is a very difficult system. It doesn't do what you want it to do. Of course, it's possible that Amadeus could be persuaded. But you could say that's why I chose you and Kurisu as models. Because they're stubborn?
Because you're stubborn twats.
Dr. Liskinen gave her a mischievous wink.
Both Kurisu and I have difficult personalities. It would be hard to persuade us to do anything.
She knew he was teasing her, so she decided to say it.
At least you're self-aware.
Yeah. Indeed, you two are truly merciless. And that is the best security I could get. How to make an AI secure? Make it paranoid.
Paranoid and bitchy? That sounds like an insult.
You two are the finest ladies our institution has to offer.
The most stubborn.
Dr. Liskinen laughed happily. He always had a childlike innocence about him. Either way, the Amadeus AI is a tricky thing. You could say that's what makes it interesting. Keeping them to ourselves won't bring us any progress, will it? I'd been thinking about how I wanted to find a catalyst that could prompt Amadeus to really evolve. And I wanted it to be someone who didn't have anything to do with the research. Lintelo is smart, and I think he's a good choice. He's also a friend of Kurisu's. Anyway, why not see what he says today before you decide? First, let's see how Kurisu has changed since she started spending time with Lintelo. We may see a side effect of her that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
That was what was making her nervous. If Kurisu changed into someone she didn't know, that would make her sad. It's time. Let's go. Maho nodded. Oh, someone asked ChatGPT if AI would take over the world, and it said, no, AI wouldn't destroy humanity, at least not as it is now. If you kept feeding it YouTube comments, all bets are off, though.
Just let it patrol Reddit for a while.
I walked onto the grounds of Yanabayashi Shrine and quietly took a look around. Several cats were sunbathing beneath the cold winter sky, but there was no sign of anyone else. His boy crush isn't here. Lukako wasn't back from school yet. Okay, I could talk to Kurisu without anyone staring at me here. And then Lukako will come back and see Okabe talking to a girl he doesn't know and get jealous, and I was supposed to meet with Dr. Liskinen and Maho after this. Before that happened, I wanted to confirm something with Kurisu. I decided to start the app. Whenever I talked to Kurisu, I needed to pay attention to where I was. People would stare if I did it in a crowded place. And I couldn't do it around my family or anyone I knew. In that sense, with the exception of the fact that Lukako and Mayuri might show up, Yanabayashi Shrine wasn't a bad spot.
Hello.
We need to talk. No discussion between a man and a woman that starts with that ever goes well.
I don't think that any discussion ever that starts with that goes well.
You're meeting with the professor and senpai
After this, right?
Is that what this is about?
Yeah.
Is there any reason to be nervous? Basically, you're turning over the logs, and then they'll ask you some quick questions about your impression of me.
And that's it. The logs. That's what I wanted to talk about. Have all of our conversations been recorded?
I told you that when we started, right?
I keep logs in a place where nobody but
Me can access them.
Were you not listening?
And you're going to submit them to the professor and Yajo-san?
Probably.
Which means if I say anything personal to you, Dr. Liskinen and Hyajo-san will hear it?
You should have thought about that days ago.
You're just realizing this now?
Yeah, it was a little late. Kurisu and I had been talking for 2 weeks. I should have asked about this when I got the access key for Amadeus. I just realized today. Hey, have I told you anything I shouldn't have so far?
Like the fact that you were barely able to talk to any girls at the matchmaking party?
Or the fact that your family sells vegetables?
But you hate eggplants?
I don't hate eggplants. I'm just not very good at eating them.
What does that mean?
If that was all, I didn't really care.
Or the fact that the first time we talked,
You called me Christina.
Please forget about that.
Human memories are ambiguous. As time passes, they become more subjective and tend to be compressed into a single narrative. Memories can only ever be viewed through one lens, after all, regardless of whether the memory is a good or a bad one. It's common to only be able to remember words that left an impression, and that impression will often alter your memory of the surrounding Conversation.
Eyewitnesses are now some of the least reliable testimony in court.
As they should be.
Yeah.
5 people could see the same damn car and describe 5 different things.
Yeah. Or that one a university study told like observers to watch a basketball game and count how many times the ball was passed. And then they had someone in a gorilla costume run through the game. And then they asked the people counting passes, did you see the gorilla? None of them saw it.
They were focused on the passes.
Yeah.
It's just, like, eyewitness testimony has its place, but
Yeah.
it's incredibly unreliable.
It's better than nothing, but not much.
It offers a lead. It's not something you can hinge your case on.
Yeah. What was she talking about?
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just how human memories work. The brain focuses on one thing and everything else that's superfluous is discarded. But Amadeus isn't a human. It's an incomplete AI, still in the research stage. This is a big problem for Maho and the professor. But actually, Amadeus still can't perfectly replicate the ambiguity of human memories. As they probably shouldn't, to be honest.
Well, it depends how they're doing the AI, because what it seems like they're doing is just running a brain simulator. Like,
Yeah.
they emulate a brain, which should be able to have the exact same functions as a real brain, but
That just, it leads to some uncomfortable issues. AI should not be made as human-like as possible. Because at that point, is it not a human?
yeah, or at least a sapient life form.
And then we have to get into the discussion of rights
Yes.
and such, and you
That's
know,
a big mess.
we should just really
Yeah.
avoid that. In other words, it can't completely replicate the high-level brain function that is forgetting. You call it high level, I call it ADHD.
Huh? But at the ATF seminar, Dr. Liskinen said that Amadeus would forget unneeded information.
That info would still be in her logs, though.
Yeah.
Yes, I do forget things. But remember what I said? I record things in a log, like it's my secret diary.
Yeah, so things she commits to the log, she cannot forget.
Or she can forget, but then she can remember if she looks through the log.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, like,
Yeah. So, in the end,
All the information is still kept there.
and if I load that, all the data I should have forgotten will come flooding back to me.
Right?
The way you would if you read your diary from a year ago.
yeah. But this is inside her skull, which is a thing humans don't have. Like,
It's not inside her skull, it's in a computer.
well, figuratively inside her skull, like,
Yeah. She has a little extra
Yeah.
SSD card she can plug in.
yeah. In other words, asking her to forget was a waste of time?
Another plan would be to delete my logs,
But those are my backups.
so that's not happening. Even if I could delete one area,
The result would be the same.
I would analyze the surrounding conversation and
Automatically reconstruct the missing portion.
Yeah, and if you can't remember it, you won't remember why you deleted it, so you'll reconstruct it and then realize why you deleted it and then get stuck in a loop.
You know,
Like, oh shit,
Yeah.
that's why I deleted it. Delete, delete, delete. Huh,
I read a
what did I delete?
horror
Yeah.
story about that, actually, where she read something horrifying about the universe. I don't remember exactly what, but it was existential.
Yeah.
And she immediately erased her memories frantically to get it out. And when she came back to herself, she saw the book. And since she's a bookworm, she picked it up because it looked interesting.
Yeah.
And it suggested that kept happening over and
Yeah.
over again.
I could see a Black Mirror episode or something revolving around that too.
Yeah. And like you could easily say, well, why wouldn't she get rid of the book first? But in the story, it's very explicit that it was mid panic attack. She's got to get that shit out of her head right now.
Yeah.
So it wasn't something she could set up to be smartly
It's eldritch knowledge that man was never meant to know.
Something like that, yeah.
Like how to make pastry.
How to have perfectly temperatured hands so that your pie crust does not turn into shit.
Yeah.
If you want to alter my memories, you'd have to mess with the primary program.
I didn't have that level of access, and I didn't understand how the program worked at all. So basically, until I told Kurisu why I called her Christina, she was going to keep asking. What a pain.
So?
Why Christina?
You really don't give up, do you? I'll hang up right now if I have to.
Even if you run, I have
Just explained, I won't forget. Just say it was an inside joke.
Yeah, but then she would want him to explain the inside joke.
I can't do that. You weren't there.
Yeah, but she would still want him to attempt to.
Possibly, but at that point, you can just blow it off. She has enough of an answer.
Yeah, but then she'll just be nagging him about the inside joke until she gets an answer. It's just moving the goalpost.
The more you try to change the subject,
The more interested I get, you know?
That.
or is this a ploy to
Get me to pay attention to you.
And that maybe. You're the one who wants attention. You call me in the middle of my university lectures. And not only that, you message me all the time on Vine.
He's got you there.
You've got too much curiosity. If you keep poking your head into things, one of these days, you're going to regret it.
Scientists can't function if they're not curious.
That's also a valid point. She got mad at me.
Yeah, but a scientist can have some
Yeah.
understanding of, that's not my fucking business, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're still curious about it, but
Keep it to yourself.
yes. If you're that interested in why I call you Christina, why not come up with a theory yourself? This is a bad plan, Okabe.
I have a few, actually.
Listen to these. I'd rather not.
She's really into this.
Theory 1.
You've got a crush on a Hollywood actress named Christina.
I can't think of any red-headed Christinas in Hollywood, but I don't know many Hollywood actresses, so...
The only one that came to mind is Christina Aguilera, and she's not an actress.
Yeah, but I don't...
She's acted, but she's not an actress.
Yeah, and I don't think she's... Is she a redhead?
No, she's blonde.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, maybe she was a redhead before they bleached her hair, but yeah.
No, she's been blonde for a long time.
Yes. I'm just saying, before she was blonde, because blonde is very unlikely to be natural.
I have no idea. I don't...
Yeah.
See, I don't follow celebrities, but I don't
neither
think
do
I've
I.
ever seen Christina Aguilera with anything but blonde hair.
Yeah.
With the exception of a wig in a movie.
You think you've got the looks of a Hollywood actress?
Looks don't matter.
It's like how you feel closeness to someone with the same name.
So, this is what you're saying in other words. Okabe Rintaro feels close to me.
It's just an example.
Don't try to read too deep into it.
It's a joke. Whenever I talk to Kurisu, I always wanted to tease her. I needed to watch out.
No, keep doing it. It's funny.
Yeah.
Theory 2.
You once dated a
Foreign girl named Christina.
Close.
Given your terrible English ability,
This one's out of the question, huh?
Oh, the girl could have been a foreigner who could speak Japanese. It's possible that I dated a blonde bombshell who spoke fluent Japanese, isn't it?
No.
Did you?
Silence is an admission of defeat.
Sorry.
Theory 3.
You knew the original me.
And called her that either directly or indirectly.
Bingo.
Yes, good job. This is also unlikely. If you called me that,
I know what I'd say.
Stop adding Tina.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly what Kurisu said. But I didn't stop, because I was embarrassed. The genius named Makise Kurisu was the person I always wanted to be. Admitting to some gender dysphoria there, Okabe? No,
what do you mean?
I couldn't bring myself to say her name, so I came up with a nickname to hide my embarrassment.
Embarrassment?
Yeah, not just with the original either. It happens when I'm talking to you, too.
Me?
I mean, I've never talked to a girl inside a monitor before.
What? Well,
Thank you.
Why are you blushing?
I'm not. I just didn't expect if you treat me like a girl. It surprised me a little.
Even that reaction was just like Kurisu.
Now, how often was she treated as, a girl
Yeah,
and not a genius or a colleague?
that part of you, I really
Really, Okabe? Falling for a pale imitation of Kurisu? I know an AI is better than nothing, but you are a mad scientist. You don't settle for pale imitations. You will bend time and reality to your whim. We have gone over this, Okabe. Nothing less than what you want, you will settle for. Everything you want, or this world line is not worth existing.